AITA for not letting my fiancé's niece try my engagement ring? F36 recently got engaged to my fiancé. M34. He's in the military and has an extended family. He's close to his sister and 21-year-old niece. His bill is deceased. When I met his niece, she seemed sweet but kept making passive-aggressive comments about me. Like how I look older than my fiancé. How we're incompatible just due to our star signs or whatever. And when we announced my engagement, she told my fiancé he is moving too fast. We've been dating for almost 3 years. LDR. Yesterday I visited my future in-laws and his sister and niece were there. His niece saw my ring and commented on it saying, "I bet this is the fanciest one you've ever got. Just like my uncle." Quote. I felt offended and thought that was rude, but I ignored her because of how Mill was looking at me. But she, his niece, asked if she could try the ring on. I was taken aback. I said no. She asked again, but I still said no. Next thing I knew, she got up from her seat and stood in front of me, extending her arm, expecting me to take the ring off and give it to her. I was like, WTF? I said, "Please go back to your seat." I already said no. Sil said it was fine, but I said I just didn't feel comfortable. Sil then looked at me quizzically and was like, "Are you serious? That's his niece. Just let her try it on." I said I'm sorry, but no. Niece threw a fit and went upstairs. Her mom said I had no reason to act like this and said she didn't get what my problem is. I took my purse about to leave after she kept berating me for not letting her daughter try the ring. Mill asked me to stay, but I insisted on leaving. Sil tried calling me, and because I needed time to answer, she sent a text saying my behavior was alarming and that she will bring this incident up to her brother when he gets back. Becca USW. She sensed that I'm trying to drive a wedge between her daughter and my fiancé for whatever reason. We haven't talked after that, and I really don't know what to think of this. I don't know if I acted poorly, but I'll leave this to you. Maybe I'm missing something. AITA? Background for some clarification. My fiancé has 2 sisters and he's close to this particular sister and her daughter. Her daughter hangs out a lot with him and sometimes refers to him as Kev. I found that a bit weird, but since he's the youngest uncle, he has 2 older brothers too. Then I thought no problem. She follows all his SM accounts and even knows some of his friends. Also, she drives his car whenever he visits and uses his workout equipment as well. I talked to him about some boundaries, but his sister gave me no chance and accused me of putting space between the family and him, so I kept my mouth shut. NTA. This is a major moment in your relationship. Doubly so due to you having been in a LDR. However, your fiancé behaves when told the story is a very strong indicator of what the rest of your interactions with your in-laws will be like and how he'll mediate. NTA. Niece is acting like she's in love with your husband. WTF. She's jealous of his attention towards you. I'd stay away from her and her mom for a while. NTA. A grown woman insulted you, then asked to borrow an expensive and/or sentimental item. I'm curious to hear how your fiancé handled the resulting hissy fit. NTA. Niece is weirdly possessive of your fiancé, and his family indulges her. Love the part where his sister is going to go tattle to him that you didn't let her do whatever she wanted. If you're confident in your fiancé's relationship with you, you can just brush off these harpies. She sensed that I'm trying to drive a wedge between her daughter and my fiancé for whatever reason. Well, yeah, he's going to marry you. And whatever father figure relationship they have is fine. Whatever else going on in her head is not fine and needs to stop. NTA. First, who the heck asks to try on someone's engagement ring? I've never heard someone ask that. Second, she's crossed so many lines by the comments she makes about you. You had every right to leave a place you felt unwelcome in. NTA. You don't have to let this little shit try on an expensive ring. Or use your phone. Or borrow your car. Or any other item you own. Period. NTA sounds like your fiancé has taken over the father role for his niece, and both his sister and niece have very blurred boundaries and a lot of jealousy when it comes to him. This is something you need to have a long talk to your fiancé about, as problems will arise in the future when they detest. Try to prove that they are still priority. I wish you the very best. First one to respond that you are definitely NTA, so don't feel bad at all. Your niece is spoiled and expects to get what she wants. No woman should ever let someone else try on her engagement ring. You can say you think it's bad luck, but you don't need an excuse. Your fiancé should let his mother and sister know that is just not done. If he sides with them, you have a problem. NTA. What type of 21-year-old throws a tantrum? She seems to think your fiancé is going to marry her or something. NTA. She's 21, not 8. So this type of petulant behavior after being denied something she has no right to have anyway is really just baffling to me. From the context of the first couple sentences, I suspect that she doesn't like you for whatever reason and used this as a convenient excuse to stir the pot. NTA. It's weird AF to demand to try on someone else's engagement ring. And the niece is well old enough to know, no, is a complete sentence. That the sister is claiming you're trying to drive a wedge between fiancé and his niece seems out of nowhere. But I'd bet that the niece isn't the only one on the family with a poor opinion of you. For whatever reason. NTA. Honestly, the fact that a 21-year-old cannot understand and respect that you told her no is what is alarming to me. Your Mill and Sil are enabling her by trying to make it seem like there is something wrong with you. You didn't act poorly and there is nothing wrong with your behavior. I really hope your fiancé sides with you on this matter. Otherwise, please take a step back and quietly reevaluate. If he doesn't side with you, and this is just assuming that he doesn't, I would almost bet it will happen regarding other things with them in the future. NTA. You're under no obligation to let someone else put your ring on if you don't want to. Sounds like we need some boundaries here. NTA. Niece is an entitled little princess. At 21, why? Oh, she can't take a polite no for an answer? I suggest you be very careful here. If fiancé is close to his sister, this could be a problem for you both down the road. How does he feel about niece clearly disliking you? Have you guys discussed it? Just watch out. I expected the niece to be like 10 or 12. Which would be a normal question from a quizzical child at that age. It's very weird that a 20-year-old woman demands to try on another woman's engagement ring. She sounds like she is obsessed with her uncle. I'd stay away from them. NTA. NTA. That is your ring. She will never be able to borrow it. There is no need for her to see how it looks on her. The fact that she stood in front of you to demand it is awful. And she is 21? And I bet no one batted an eye at the comment she said before. Right? Not gonna talk about that slap in the face? Oh, but of course you should let her try on your ring. No one ever asks this. No one would expect someone to remove their engagement ring for someone. She is delusional and was probably going to say how it looks better on her or try to forget to give it back or something. Go ahead and talk with your fiancé ASAP. If he doesn't have your back, tell him he can give it to his niece. My children like to try on my wedding set and right hand ring. My children. I'm okay with that because again, my children. Your ring. Your rules. You don't even have to give an explanation. And throwing a fit? An adult-ass woman throwing a fit because someone told her no? Jesus. You did not act poorly. You niece and Sil are entitled. NTA, but make sure your fiancé hears the story from you first, as the Sil would probably present you in a bad light. NTA, why on earth should you be expected to allow someone else to try on your engagement ring? NTA, WTF? The niece is a full adult acting like a 5-year-old. Also, all the comments she has made makes one think the niece may have a thing for her precious uncle.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.